Hi everyone, Marco here, the Bob Ross of ESO, and I'm back with an amazing new build that works especially well for newer players, older folks, and people with mobility issues. This new Never Die Nightblade is a tough cookie that'll let you stand toe-to-toe with some of the meanest bosses in the game. If you like this style of content, I hope you'll do me a favor and like and subscribe to this channel. I'll be creating content for Hogwarts Legacy soon, so you'll want to see those videos. Now let's get started on our build. For the longest time I avoided Nightblades. I thought they were just for sweaty PvP players who liked to jump out of the shadows and kill me before I could blink. I also thought that they required perfect timing and complicated, confusing rotations. My fear of this class only increased after watching some of the videos from popular content creators. Now my build puts those notions to shame, so let's talk about the basics first. All of our attribute points go into Magicka. We are, after all, a Magicka Nightblade. Our Mundus Stone is the Thief for the increased critical chance, which places us at 58%. Now when in doubt with any build, you should use the Thief. In the Firesong update, and actually for a much longer time than that in ESO, it's all about improving your critical strike chances. Now stats show Magicka at 31,000 and health for this build near 26,000, and these will both increase with our various procs and bonuses. Our food is Bewitched Sugar Skulls, but any health and Magicka food will do. I also like Mistral Banana Bunny Hash and Melon Baked Parmesan Pork, but now I'm starting to get hungry. Our potions are the blue Tristats, but you'll find that you rarely need to pop one. One tactic I'll tell you about right now in battle is you want to use heavy attacks as much as possible. This will keep your resources high, and it's easier for most players to deal with. My build gives you loads of extra time, so you won't be button smashing like a noob. Now let's discuss the armor sets. First of our two specialty items, we're using the Oaken Soul Ring. It has many advantages, including 17 total buffs. These include Major Sorcery, Major Brutality, and Major Savagery. I primarily use this because we're making a one-bar build and Oaken Soul fits in perfectly with that design. The one-piece monster set I'm using is Iceheart for the 650 extra critical chance. The weight doesn't really matter, but you'll want to transmute it to the Divine trait. The enchants should all be Magicka. And this is true with all body armor, Divine traits, and Magicka enchants. Okay, on to the two 5-piece sets, and these may surprise you a little. The first one is a set that's rarely mentioned, Baraha's Curse. This is an overland set that drops from Hugh's Bane and can also be picked up from the guild traders. Any 5 pieces will do. If you get the weapon here, it should be a lightning staff, with the precise trait transmuted and a nice shock enchant. Now body pieces should be Magicka enchant, as I said before, and all divine traits. Now let's look at the stats on this set. And 2 items adds 1200 health, 3 items gives us 1100 Magicka, 4 items gives us 1100 stamina and a reduction in trap damage, which is kind of random, but okay, we'll take it. It's the 5th piece that we're chasing though. When you deal damage, you have a 25% chance to create desecrated ground for 5 seconds. This reduces the movement speed of enemies within 3 meters by 60%, damages them for nearly 700 magic damage every 1 second, and heals you for 100% of the damage done. And this effect can occur once every 5 seconds, and the damage scales off your max health. So it both heals and does damage over time when it procs. I love these semi-hybrid sets which work both offensively and defensively for our characters. Our second 5-piece set is Hexo's Ward. Now this is an awesome overland set that can be found in the Deadlands and can also be bought on guild traders. Both of these sets are very affordable if you just want to buy them, so you should be able to get your Nightblade up and running in no time at all. Let's look at the stats on the Hexos set and see why I chose it. 2 items adds about 650 crit chance, 3 items gives us a bit of weapon and spell damage, 4 items adds more crit chance, and the 5th item adds the kicker. Dealing critical damage grants us a damage shield that absorbs almost 14,000 damage for 6 seconds. This effect can occur once every 7 seconds, so basically a never-ending gigantic shield. You can easily see how putting these two sets together makes this character unstoppable, and in fact, now that I figured this out, I may give it a shot with other classes as well. So let's talk about what abilities we're using. If you know me, you know that I like classes in ESO to be distinct and unique. Why build a Nightblade if you're going to use all weapon abilities and spells from the Mages and Fighters Guild? The Sigil Guild, Undaunted, even armor has its own abilities that you can slot, but each of those spells makes you more generic and less class-specific. I'm using 4 Nightblade abilities to take full advantage of our unique talents. The first ability is Lotus Fan from the Assassination line. This spell transports us right into the action immediately, dealing 5,000 damage, and then clicking off dot damage for an additional 12,000 in damage over 20 seconds. It also hits all nearby enemies. Now the second slot is for Crippling Grasp. It gives the enemy an immediate 4,000 magical damage hit, then an additional 15,000 over 20 seconds. So yes, another 20-second dot. It also decreases enemy movement speed. The third spell is Funnel Health. This deals 5,000 damage and also heals us, or an ally, for 60% of the damage every 2 seconds for 10 seconds. It's also nice for the healing that it gives our companion. The fourth spell is Unstable Wall of Storms. This is a standard spell in many builds that use a destruction staff. Like Funnel Health, this spell lasts 10 seconds. It clicks off 1,000 damage every second for 7 seconds, then it explodes, dealing 4,000 more in shock damage. So we have 2 20-second spells and 2 10-second spells. Very easy to keep track of in our rotation. The 5th slot goes to Merciless Resolve. This lasts a whopping 40 seconds, so set it and forget it. It increases our weapon and spell damage with every hit, and can convert to Assassin's Will, which deals an impressive 16,000 magical damage while healing us for 50%, as long as we stand close to the boss, which we're going to be doing. The ultimate I'm using is Thunderous Rage from the Destruction Staff line. It lasts for 9 seconds while we're using a lightning staff, and deals 8,000 damage for every second it's up. Now my one complaint with the Nightblade is I'd love to see some of the class animations be a little flashier, but hey, we can't have everything, can we? Okay, let's quickly talk about the passives and the slotted champion points. You want all of your racial passives. And by the way, I chose a Khajiit as my race for this build. It's a bit out of the norm. High Elf or Dark Elf have slightly better passives, but really, any race works. I like the kitty look, and cats are better thieves. Okay, you're going to want all your passives in the Assassination line and the Siphoning line. These are both Nightblade class lines. You need all your Destruction Staff passives, and I also drop points into the Light Armor passives, especially looking for Prodigy, which gives an extra 1100 weapon and spell critical. Now let's look at champion points, and some of those are very important for this build. Warfare, the blue constellation. We slotted Thaumaturge for an extra 6% dot damage. That's big. I also put in Deadly Aim, Biting Aura, and Fighting Finesse for the added 8% critical damage and healing. In the red fitness tree, we also have some important stars. Rejuvenation is my first pick. Second is Boundless Vitality, which gives us an extra 14,000 maximum health stats. That's important for the armor procs that we need. Third is Bastion, which adds 15% effectiveness to that big damage shield that Hexo's Ward gives us. And last, Siphoning Spells, which helps us with our Magicka sustain. The craft tree is completely up to you. Nothing here affects the build. I use Steed's Blessing for the speed, Plentiful Harvest and Master Gatherer because I like farming resources, and lastly Homemaker because I love furnishing plans. I'm using Ember as a DPS companion, but you can choose any companion you like. Now if you've been watching the combat during this video, you can see I often stand right in the red, and I'm basically just keeping all of the spells ticking down while doing heavy attacks. It really couldn't get any simpler than that. This build is especially effective against small groups of enemies. I solo Craglorn group areas without any difficulty at all. I really hope you'll give this Nightblade a try. Please leave any comments for me down below. And once again, I do appreciate your watching these videos. As always, I'm Marco. Be kind to one another. Have fun in the game, and keep exploring.